we are going to study organizing perceptual fields and theories of perception. Okay. Depth perception and distance perception. What actually is depth perception? Depth perception involves two kinds of, you can say, cues. One is binocular cues and other is monocular cues. Binocular cues are those cues which require both of our eyes to perceive the object or to perceive the cues. Whereas what is convergence? Convergence is turning inward of our eyes, which occurs when they focus on a nearby object. When we are focusing on a very smaller or a nearby object, what we will do, we will turn our eyes inward, and this is like convergence. And when we will be noticing farther away objects, then what we will do, we will diverge our eyes. And retinal disparity, the slight difference in lateral separation between two objects as seen by the right and left eyes, we will be looking it here. See, retinal these comes in under the depth perception. Binocular cues involves two eyes and monocular cues involves one eye. We perceive objects by using our one eye. What is retinal disparity? Retinal disparity is, see, we have two eyes and there is a distance between two eyes. Nose is coming in between, and there is 2.5 inches difference between our two eyes. So when we are watching objects or when we are focusing on things using our two eyes, that is, you can say that we will be watching objects differently. Okay. Whereas convergence is, we are watching by using our eyes inward. There is one example of retinal disparity. Imagine that your right eye sees is different than your left eyes because they are a small distance apart. The image you see using both eyes is the two images merged. For example, see, there are two puppies here on the right side and left side. What we will be doing, we are taking these two puppies here, and when you are watching it here, focusing here, you are using your both eyes, and according to retinal disparity, there will be a concept of a depth, you can say, will be coming over here. And these two objects are looking like these are smaller, and like the brown one is bigger and the whiter one is the smaller one, but actually they are having the same sizes because of their placement. You can see that one is bigger or one is smaller. But in retinal disparity is this, we are taking these two and putting it here aside. So here there will be a concept of a little depth over here will be coming, and you will be merging these two pictures and these two images over here. The other example is the image you see is a circle here, and a bubble circle transparent is right here and here. When you are watching it, you are merging that image collectively, and you are watching that yes, this is a circle, and they there is having a little distance between the transparent colors. So when you are watching or using your two eyes collectively, so you can perceive image in a different manner, or you can say that the yes, depth concept comes in between the retinal disparity. Okay. After that, monocular cues. What are monocular cues? There are different points comes under monocular cues. Is first one is relative size. When you are looking at these two pictures, that this is a picture of ants. There are two ants. You will be perceiving that this one is bigger and the other one is smaller. Actually, it is not. These both are having the same size, but actually due to their placement, you can say that yes, this size is bigger because this is closer to your eyes. So the object which is closer to you, you will be perceiving it bigger, and the object which is farther away, you will be perceiving that object smaller, but actually their size will be similar. Then interposition, because of the object's position, you perceive that object. For example, this is an oval shape object in a blue color, and there is a rectangular shape object in a yellowish color. So what you will do, because this yellow is coming in front of that oval, and this is cutting that oval, but but you will perceive that this is in front of you. You will be perceiving as this is like a rectangle which is placed on the oval. So because of its position, you are perceiving it. Like for example, if it will be placed behind, so you will be perceiving that firstly that this is a oval, then rectangle. So here the firstly you are perceiving that yes, this is a rectangle because it is placed due to this its position, it is placed in front of that oval. After that, relative height, you can say in this third picture that there are three pillars. You can say that you feel that yes, green one is the bigger one. After that, white comes. White is smaller and the red one is smallest. Might be you will be perceiving like this, but actually this is not the case. Actually these three pillars are exactly the same size due to its placement. You can say you are perceiving that yes, this its height is bigger because of its placement. And when you are perceiving height, you will be saying that yes, the objects which are farther away, they appears larger or highest as compared to the objects which are placed near to our eyes. Okay. And in monocular eyes again, judge the distance of object using by only one eye. These cues are often used in making 2D images appear to be 3D. In this case, they are called pictorial depth cues. For example, in this picture, you can say that the blue one, this is near to you. So you are, according to its size, you will be perceiving that this is the bigger one according to relative size, that this is the bigger one. But the object which is in yellow color, you will be perceiving this is the smaller one. Actually their size will be similar, only the placement of objects is due to the placement of objects you are perceiving it differently. Whereas interposition, see, this the interposition is when the pillar is, like for example, the object which appears in front of you, your eyes, you focus on that and you, that is prominent to you, but all other previous things will be less prominent or will be farther away than you. For example, this is a pillar in white color. You are perceiving it that this pillar is ahead of all the objects which are at the behind. So this is the example of interposition. Because of its position, you are perceiving that this is ahead of your eyes, other all are at the back. Similarly, in the example we have discussed earlier, in a rectangular shape diagram, you will be perceiving that this rectangle is in front of your eyes, whereas oval is at back. Okay, after that, relative size, we have discussed that because of their positions, you will be perceiving that this front teddy, you can see, is bigger in size, and the farther away that is smaller. Actually it is not. Actually these both are having the same sizes, but the object which are placed near to our eyes or closer to our eyes, we perceive that object as a bigger one, but those objects which are farther away from eyes, we perceive them as the smaller ones. Okay. After that, the motion of car is how we perceive by motion. Okay, its example is when you are sitting in the car and you are going somewhere, but you will be noticing that the objects which are closer to you, like for example trees, they are closer to you. You will be noticing that these trees are passing very quickly from by the car when you are driving in a car or you are going. So you will be watching that these trees are moving very fast in a fast manner, whereas the mountains which will be looking at the back or which will be farther away from you, you will be perceiving that these mountains are moving very slowly. So this is according to the relative motion here. After relative height, there is a motion parallax. So due to the motion, you perceive that there those things which are closer to you will be perceiving they are moving faster, whereas those things which are farther away, you will be perceiving at they are moving slower. Okay, after that, constancy, we have discussed that visual constancy and perceptual constancy. Okay, in visual constancy, we are focusing size, shape, and brightness or color. Okay, so how we perceiving, see, this is an example. These two ladies, they are having the same height, they are having the same size, but due to their relative size, like they are placed, first one is at or in front of your eyes, near to your eyes, and the other one is farther away. So that's why you are perceiving that the lady who is nearer to your eye is the bigger one as compared to the a lady who is farther away. This is the size constancy that you are using. You can say this is the relative size. So in constancy, you are watching when, so you focus the object, or you perceive the object by its size. Whereas when shape comes, so here the shape door is closed, it's a rectangular shape. Here the door is open. The difference is just the door is open, but its shape becomes a little different. Okay. Other In other diagram, the door is open more widely, so here the shape will be a little bit changing. Okay, actually the door is, because of door, when this door is closed, you can exactly imagine and perceive that yes, this is a rectangular shape. When this is the door is open, you will be taking time to notice that what shape it is making right now. Okay, it is shifting its shape. Then due to color constancy, how you perceive object according to its color. For example, you are watching that they on the cup there is a white shaded area at the lower side, so its color is a little lighter here, but on the upper side this pink color is brighter. But you will not focus on that, you will focus overly, you will say that this is a color or a maroonish or pinkish, like this mark color is. So collectively you are saying that this is the color, you are focusing, ignoring that this is a light shade is coming at the bottom of this cup or like that. Okay, so you are perceiving objects visually and perceptual constancies according to its size, shape and its color. Okay, after that, here we have discussed the motion of car. I have already told you the objects which will be closer to you, you will be perceiving that these objects are moving fast, and the objects which will be farther away, you will be perceiving, but like mountains, they will be moving slowly. Okay, in monocular cues, we have discussed height in the visual field, and I have discussed here. Okay, see, you can see here in this third diagram that how height is playing the role. The object which is farther away appears to be the highest one as compared to the diagram or the image which is at closer to your eyes. Similarly, in this diagram, the tree you can see at the front of your eyes appears to you, or you perceive it smaller, whereas the tree at the back, these three trees, you will be perceiving that this is the bigger one. Actually, or its height is bigger. You can say this is big and height. Actually, it is not. They are having the same height. The home at front of your eyes, you will be perceiving that this its height is less, whereas the object which is farther away, you will be perceiving that it's a bigger height, it's in a bigger height. Okay, so this is how. Okay, the perception is actually the fooling of eyes, you can say. Okay, in this diagram you can see there are two diagrams. In first image, there are three animals or cats are sitting there. You will be perceiving that the cat which is farther away is its height is bigger, or it's touching the like roof, and the cat which is in front of your eyes, you will be perceiving its height is less. Actually, it is not. Their height is same, the objects are similar in size, only because of its perception, only because of your perception or fooling of your eyes, you will be perceiving in that manner. Whereas in this diagram you can see there are a line, and on those there are different parallel lines are here in front of your eyes. You might be, you will be perceiving this, the first one is smaller, after that bigger, after that biggest one come, then biggest, then smaller, smaller. This is the fooling of or your eyes, because there is a difference between your two eyes. That's why you perceive the objects differently. Okay, if you place your fingers right and left in under your eyes, as you can see in this image, you will be noticing that yes, there is a gap is coming in in between your eyes. So because of that 2.5 inches distance, you perceive objects differently. Actually, these parallel lines are, all of them are in the same size, and only its positioning is different, or these angles are differently placed angles, you perceive it as differently. Okay, after that, now we will be discussing theories of perception. There are two theories we will be discussing here. One is Gibson direct theory of perception, a bottom-up theory of perception, whereas the other one is Greger theory of perception. Okay. In Gibson direct theory of perception, a bottom-up theory of perception, we perceive that the word directly using just the piece of sensory information we gain using our eyes. This has involved in all animals to help them best interact with their environment. Okay, then no need of inference. Gibson thought our senses provide all the information we need to actually make sense of the word, the potential uses of objects, what he called their affordance can be perceived directly. There is no need to rely on inferences, assumptions based on past experiences to interpret sensory information. Here, Gibson says that when you are perceiving something, you will not be needing your past experiences to perceive that object. You will perceive, you will take the ecological perspective of your environment, that you will be perceiving only because of your environment, because that object appears to you how in that environment. Then visual information, complex information about light, texture, detail, all comes from your environment. This allows accurate judgment about features such as distance and movement. Influence of nature. Gibson thought that accurate perception is innate, not learned, coming from evolution. Animals with best or most accurate perception has the best evolutionary perspective. Okay, let me show you this diagram. Let me zoom in a little one. Okay, this will be explaining you the concept of Gibson, what he wants to say. According to Gibson, he says that, for example, you are sitting and there is a bug coming to you, and first of all, what you will see, you will use your eyes and you will use your senses, okay, to perceive that this is a bug from your eyes. Then bug is making noise nearby your eyes, ears, and you are hearing this bee sound in front of your eyes, sorry, ears. Okay, so that sound is going into your mind and you are feeling disturbed. So that message is going toward your brain, and your brain is analyzing that object, where that object is, and all wiring starts working, and the your brain gives message to your body that how to react that. So you use your hand either to kill it or either to push it away. Okay, so the action you made by using your hand is actually what you have done. You made a perception and you perform action accordingly. You have done the decision making. Okay, so you can see in this further image that perception, in bottom up perception, what you will be doing, that you will make a perception, and according to that perception you will make decisions and behavior. First of all, you sense that object. After that, you are, what you are doing, you are giving action or performing action according to that image or according to that sensation which you have gotten. Okay, so your perception is making your decisions or using their cognitive abilities to make decision and behavior. Here no personal experience was involved. Okay, here only the thing, you are getting it from your environment. You are getting the information from your environment and you are perceiving accordingly, according to the situation you perceive, and you are doing your decision and behavior according to what you have perceived. For example, if you are going in a dark road, you are listening the barking dog sound, and what you will be doing, you are in a state of danger. You will be perceiving that yes, a dog is coming to you and he is running ahead towards you. What you will be doing, you will make decision quickly what you have to do, and your behavior will be running from that place. You will make decision of running, and your behavior will be, you will start running. So you are perceiving the situation from your environment, and accordingly you are performing your behavior. After that, Gregory constructive theory of perception. This is the another theory which tells us that how we go from the top to bottom, actually. Top to bottom theory of perception, suggesting that perception is an active process driven by your cognition. Sensory information is combined with stored knowledge about the world, constructing or perception. In this, inferences from visual cues, you perceive the object according to its distance, its motion, according to your past experiences, your visual cues, which you have already learned, and the model of reality you are making that imperfections, inferences into your mind. and exactly the nature of that knowledge will be stored into your brain, and based on the experience of word, the same sensory information you are getting from the like environment and your surroundings or your sensory impulses, and you will be acting differently. So what actually Gregory constructive theory is, he says that whatever we are perceiving from our environment is, we are perceiving because of our past experiences, what we are learning from our past. For example, at night, you are awake, and this is the diagram or the picture. Here are two eyes, okay? You can see there is, your room is completely dark. From your sleep you feel that you awake, and what you will be doing, you have to switch on the light, or you have to go outside the room if there is no light into your room. What you will be doing, you will be moving, and you will be stepping up from your bed. There is complete darkness from your into your room, and what you will be doing, you will be going towards the socket, you will switch on the board, or you want to go to washroom, you will be not you will be going to the washroom, or you want to open the window, you will be going towards the window, you will open the window. What you will do, or you want to go outside your room, so you in the darkness you can do that. Or if your room has no light, you want to pick up the phone, and your phone is placed on the side table or in the near your bed, so you don't need to switch on the light, you will only pick the phone. What you are doing here, you are having the past experiences, that yes, this is my bedroom, this is my bed, this side is the socket, this side is window, this side is door. So on everyday basis you are watching and you are perceiving that, you are storing that knowledge into your memory, into your brain, so you will be working accordingly. For example, we have recently discussed earlier the example of how we use past experiences as well to make our perception. If somebody is lying to you, so first time you will be saying, okay, might be it's something that he is not doing intentionally. Second time, if that individual is lying to you, you will be saying maybe yes, he is doing not by intention. So in third time when he will be lying to you, you will be definitely saying that yes, he is that kind of person, and he is just like he's saying false things, and he's a liar actually. So you make your perceptions from your past experiences, okay, and you perceive the objects accordingly. In the darker room, you have stored all the knowledge of all the objects, all the things into your brain, and you will be acting accordingly, okay. So this is the how top down processing works on basis of your expectations. You expect that there is a door here, there is a socket here, because you have learned it previously, you have stored that knowledge into your mind. So your expectation is either it's a darker room, you will be going towards the socket where it is placed. So you make your perception according to your expectations, and you behave accordingly, okay, that you will be going and switching on the light. So what is the difference between top down processing and bottom up processing? Bottom up processing is perception is constructed by your cognition. You use your brain, you use your mind, and you construct that cognition, that what you have to do. Whereas top down processing is perception directs cognition. How directing? Because you have already previous knowledge, so you are just working accordingly, and it is directing your cognition. For example, okay, there is another example that how we fool our eyes, or in Gibson model, how we are perceiving. Like, for example, there are two arrows, you can say. One, they both are having the same sizes. The different, this is a Mueller layer illusion actually, okay, and it comes in Gibson that how we are perceiving and how we are making our decision that yes, this one is the second one appears to be bigger, whereas the first one appears to be smaller. So we are using our brain and environment to perceive these objects, but actually these both are having the same sizes. Only the difference is there are inward arrows on the first image, and there are outward arrows on the second image. Because of the outward arrows, you can see that this line or this arrow is bigger. Actually, they both are having the same sizes. Another example is these two doors. The this door in a purple with and this which is appearing in front of your eyes, you see that might be this is closer, this is bigger, whereas the farther away that door is the smaller one. But actually this is not, they both are having the same sizes, only the difference is their diagonals or their image, because of, or their angles, because how their angles are perceived, because of that you make your image. Okay, so today we have discussed monocular cues and binocular cues, which comes under the depth perception. In monocular cues, we have discussed in binocular cues, we have discussed retinal disparity, convergence. In convergence, we converge our eyes to focus the objects on the nearby objects. When you are noticing the details and you are focusing on detailing, you are converging your eyes on a smaller thing. When you are looking farther away or you want to see the objects which are farther, you will be diverging your eyes, your pupil will be diverged. So comes in the binocular cues, whereas in monocular cues we have studied the interposition, relative size, motion of car, constancy, and relative height. Okay, after that we have discussed the Gibson direct theory of perception, in which we have discussed the bottom-up theory of perception, and the other one we have discussed is Gregory constructive theory of perception. This is the top-down processing of perception. So this is all about today. I hope this is clear to all of you.